Welcome to this presentation discussing an overview of developmental theories. Throughout this presentation, we will highlight key points of several developmental theories, discuss factors that impact development, and provide a foundation for thinking about how children learn and develop. In previous years, the question was asked, which matters more in a child's development, nature or nurture? This discussion dated back to the days of Darwin, who believed in survival of the fittest, and John Locke, whose theory discussed tabula rasa, or the blank slate. While we now believe both factors impact development, the discussion has evolved into a structure versus agency debate, or basically socialization versus individual autonomy. For the purposes of our discussion, we will be looking at how culture and individual experiences and circumstances impact child development. So, what is child development? Child development refers to the biological, psychological, and emotional changes that occur in human beings from birth to adolescence. As human beings, we have a keen ability to adapt to our surroundings, and the study of child development encompasses this notion. As they develop, children are learning to find their identity and culture. In order to understand how children develop, we often categorize their development into periods. These periods include neonatal, newborn, infancy, toddlerhood, preschool age, and middle childhood. There are several child development theories, many of which overlap and have similar ideas, and many of which contradict each other. When people think of psychology, they often think of the psychoanalytic theories such as those developed by Freud and Erikson. In Freud's theory, conflicts that arose during periods of development could have a lifelong impact on personality and behavior. Erikson developed 8 stages of psychosocial development that describe the growth and change throughout a lifespan. We also have behaviorist theories of child development, such as those presented by John Watson, Pavlov, and Skinner. In the behaviorist theories, observable behaviors occur as a result of a stimuli in the environment. Behavior is then shaped by providing reinforcement or punishment after the behavior occurs. In this theory, the learner has little responsibility for their own development. Many cognitive theories were also developed. This course will focus on the cognitive theories that were developed by Piaget and Vygotsky. Piaget's theory attempts to explain how young children may think differently than adults. He felt that cognitive development is a progressive reorganization of mental processes as a result of the experiences. While Vygotsky tried to explain cognitive development as well, he focused on the connections between people. So Vygotsky continued his cognitive work through the development of social theories. Vygotsky felt that social interaction played a key role in child's development. He felt that social learning preceded the child's development. Other social theorists include Bandura, who developed a social cognitive theory describing concepts such as self-regulation and self-reflection, and Bronfenbrenner, who developed the ecological systems theory, which describes how the environment at many levels can impact a child's development. As you study these and additional theories throughout this course, think about which theories resonate with you based on your beliefs and what you know about how children learn and develop. Which theories do you agree with, and which theories do you disagree with? This information will help you solidify what you know and what you believe about child development. There are many themes that emerge when we study child development. First of all, we believe that children are naturally curious. We also believe that children should be active participants in their growth and development. However, children do not all develop in the exact same way because they are influenced by the social and cultural contexts in which they live. Studies have shown that development tends to follow a pattern, moving from the simple to the more complex, from dependence to self-regulation, and from the concrete to the abstract. However, even though there is a pattern of development, we know that children may progress through this pattern at differing rates. Of most importance for young children is the concept that development in one domain impacts development in all of the domains. For example, as a child's language improves, their social skills will also improve. As children are more physically active, they are able to be more independent and improve their cognition. The examples of this interrelation between the developmental domains can continue on and on. As you progress through this course, remember that all children are unique, yet there are patterns of development that can be identified. As early childhood educators, it is critical that we know how children develop on a level demonstrating deep understanding, as well as in a way that demonstrates immediate recall of information. The child development concepts impact teaching on every level. In order to be effective, you must be able to apply what you know about children and their development to lesson planning, assessment, social interactions, feedback, working with parents, and even setting up the classroom environment.